Good morning, friends. All right, are we ready to get started with our day? I have something really messy for us to do today. So let's sing our song so we can get started. Good morning, little sprouts. How are you? Good, good. Good morning, little sprouts. How are you? Good, good. It is time to start our day. We will learn and work and play. Good morning, little sprouts. How are you? Good, good. Good job. So let's say good morning to mummies and daddies, and good morning to brothers and sisters. And I'll say good morning to Mr. Sean and to Theo. And then we'll say good morning to me, Miss Tracy. Good morning, friends. All right. So I want to know how you're doing today. Can you tell me how you're doing today? Great job. So today I feel green. I feel pretty good today. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to sing our Days of the Week song. Are you ready? So let's get up our two fingers and our 5 fingers just like this. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Great job. Let's do it this time in French. Are you ready? There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. Dimanche, lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi. All right, so yesterday was Thursday and the day of our dance party, which means today is Friday. So I'm going to move Friday all the way over here. Today is Friday, today is Friday, today is Friday, and we're going to have some fun. We can also say vendredi. Can you say vendredi? Good job. But now we need to figure out what this number is, which means we need to count. So grab your pointers and grab your circle timesheets, and let's get ready to count. You ready? All right, we have to start all the way down here. So we have to start at number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. So we would write our date just like this. Oh, wrong way. We would write Friday, May 22. Good job. All right, so now we need to figure out what the weather is. Are you ready? What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather, everyone? Is it snowy? Is it cloudy? Is there rain or is there sun? So I want you to take your looking eyes and look outside and tell me what the weather is like where you are today. Good job. So where I am today, it's cloudy and I'm going to put up the sun because there's a little bit of sun, but it is not very nice. And then to dress the weather panda, I am going to put on boots and his pants to keep him warm. And then I'm just going to put on his sweater. There. I think that's pretty good. I think our panda's ready to start his day. All right, so today we are going to finish talking about spring, and we're going to finish talking about the pond, and we're going to make some mud. So get ready to listen to a story. You ready? I'm a good listener, read me a book. My hands are in my lap, and at Miss Tracy I look. When she sees I'm ready, she will say, here is a story I have for you today. So my book is called Spectacular Spring. So this book is all about spring facts. So, spring is a season of spectacular beginnings. Green plants and colorful flowers begin to grow. Animals shake off the cold of winter. People start spending more time outdoors. The days get longer and the nights get shorter. Days begin to get warmer, so your clothes get lighter. Winter snow stops falling and spring rain starts. When the air gets warmer in spring, it's more likely to rain than snow. Air always holds tiny drops of water vapor, and warm air holds more than cold air. As warm air rises, it cools, and water droplets come together to form clouds. When the droplets get too heavy to stay in the cloud, they fall to the ground as rain. How do umbrellas work? So the material of an umbrella is waterproof, which means rain will bounce off instead of passing through. After the rain, you might see a rainbow. Sunlight is made up of many colors, but normally we can't see them all. After it rains, there are still a lot of water droplets in the air. When sunlight hits these droplets from a certain angle, the beam of light separates into the colors that are usually mixed together in sunlight. A beautiful rainbow is the result. The colors in a rainbow are always in the same order: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. How does spring feel? Fuzzy, wet, soft, velvety, muddy, squishy, fluffy, windy, leafy, or smooth. All of those things. Plants start to grow all over the place. Spring brings water that plants need to start growing. Look around and you'll see leaves and flowers starting to grow on trees, on bushes, and on the ground. So there are flower bulbs that start to bloom. So the bulbs have been in the ground all winter. What does spring smell like? Spring is a great time to close your eyes and sniff. Smells travel more easily in warm air than in cold air. As spring days get warmer, you'll find many fresh new smells when you walk outdoors. One of my favorite things to smell is rain in the spring. I love smelling the rain. Sprouts spring up from seeds underground. So, look at our little sprout turning into a plant with its roots. Yeah. Seeds travel in many ways. Plants don't have legs, but they can still travel. Some seeds travel in the air. For example, dandelion seeds have a feathery part that helps the wind carry them to fresh new ground. The seeds of a maple tree have wings that make them move like helicopters through the air. Other seeds are sticky or prickly. Seeds can travel by water too. And animals can also move seeds. So lots of different ways that seeds get to the places they end up. Farmers plant new crops. So farmers plant lots of seeds in their fields. What shape is spring? So, some flower petals are shaped like raindrops. Some flowers are shaped round like balls. And umbrellas often have 8 sides when you look at them from the top. That shape is called an octagon. Baby animals are often born in spring. when they will have plenty of food. Longer days allow parents more time to gather food for their young. Birds make nests and lay eggs. After the eggs hatch, baby birds usually stay close to one or both of their parents. Inside an egg, the yolk and the white provide food the baby needs to grow. When it's time to hatch, the baby bird uses its beak to knock a hole through the shell. After hatching, birds usually stay in the nest near a parent as they grow. When their feathers and wings are ready to fly, baby birds become fledglings. Parents still help to care for fledglings until they can find food and protect themselves on their own. What does spring sound like? So when we listen, we can hear things like cheep, cheep, or tweet, tweet. Or we might hear bah, or we might hear pitter patter, which is kind of like the sound rain makes. We might hear crack, boom, like thunderstorms, or whoosh, rustle, like the wind. We might hear the splish of boots jumping in puddles, or splash of frogs jumping into the pond. So many different sounds we can hear. Some animals get moving. Warm spring weather tells some animals it's time to wake up and move. Animals like chipmunks, bats, bears, frogs, and toads that hibernate or sleep a lot during the winter can find more food in the spring. They wake up and become more active. Birds that flew south in autumn fly north in spring. They will feed on new plants and insects and find places to nest. Little critters get busy too. Bees and other insects start flying flower to flower. While they gather food, they also help to pollinate plants. They carry pollen from one flowering plant to another, allowing the plants to make seeds. Birds, bats, and wind carry pollen too. When worms start looking for food, they also help plants. As they move, they loosen the earth, which makes it easier for plant roots to grow. Worms eat old plants and very small living things and then leave behind natural fertilizer that plants can use for energy. Tadpoles hatch from eggs in ponds and lakes. As they get bigger, they begin to grow lungs and legs and lose their gills and tails. Then the little froglets can hop around on land and eventually become adult frogs. When all the year's beginnings have begun, spectacular spring turns into super summer. Awesome. All right, so today for our activity, we are making mud. So we are going to make something called oblique, or oblique. People say it differently. I'm cheating though, I'm going to use brown paint. You can use cocoa powder or you might use other things that are brown in the house. You could find some other things that are brown. Okay, so I have a recipe posted in our instructions, but basically it's 1 cup water. I'm just going to double check this. I always make it just on my own, I guess. 1 cup cornstarch and half a cup of water. All right. I obviously didn't mix it, but I'm going to mix it in my cup here. So I'm just going to pour some water in. So I have some cornstarch and I have some water, and I'm going to use some paint. So I'm going to pour some water in, and I'm going to mix this up. All right. And so you want to mix it up until you've got all the cornstarch wet. It's going to be tricky to know when it's right, but you will know because it will be sort of wet, but also sort of hard. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to put in some paint. Ooh, this one's tricky. And see if I can mix it up to make it look a little muddy in here. The trick with using paint is you want to make sure that you use washable paint because you're going to get this on your hands at some point. And you want to make sure that it isn't going to stain your hands or make a really big mess. So as you can see, I'm just mixing it around inside my cup. Oh, I found some cornstarch that didn't have any water. So we're just gonna mix that in. So I'm just gonna mix and mix and mix. All right, so now I'm gonna pour it out onto my baking sheet. All right, are you ready to see this? Okay. So it looks liquidy, doesn't it? Okay, we're gonna try not to make a big mess on my clothes. I'm gonna get the rest of this out of here. Okay. Okay. I might use a little bit more water to get the rest out. Now, so it looks a little liquidy. I'm just going to smush this up a little bit. But also, it's not liquidy. It's solid. So you can peel it up. I'm not going to use my hand today because I don't need to get really, really messy, although I do want you to get in there and feel it with your fingers. So I want you to feel what it feels like in your fingers. See, look, it pours. But then it's also really hard. So interesting. And it feels really interesting on your fingers. I want you to tell me, does it feel soft? Does it feel squishy? How does it feel? And then when you're playing in here, see how when I pull it up, it looks like it's a solid block, but then it turns kind of liquidy? So when you're playing in here, you could take your frogs and you could play in here. They're gonna get dirty, but that's okay because you can just give them a bath after. Once you decide you're done, you just need to add more water and this will just sort of all dissolve back into liquid form. And it won't be doing this kind of fun thing where it peels up and looks like it's solid. See? Solid, but a liquid. So strange, but super cool. So that's what you're gonna do today. I also want you to practice tracing over your letters. I know I talked about it a little bit on Wednesday with your chalkboard play, but I do want you to keep working on that. During our next Zoom meeting next week, we're gonna talk about how we write our letters. So I want you to be working on that. I do not have a magic box today. I need to come up with some fun new ideas to put things in the magic box, and I also need some more questions. So I need you to help me work on that. So that's all I have for you today. I can't wait to see you next week. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. All right, let's get our working hands out. All day long we worked and played, worked and played, worked and played. All day long we worked and played, and now our day is done. Wave goodbye to all your friends, all your friends, all your friends. Wave goodbye to all your friends until we meet again. Bye, friends. See you on Monday. Bye.